Once, they built a perfect city, a social experiment, they called it. City 25. Every need was met, every problem managed. There was order, comfort, even a kind of peace, and yet, it fell apart, not because of hunger or violence, but because of too much civility, because the leaders forgot what truth sounded like when it wasn't rehearsed. The experiment began with the best of intentions. They established rules, committees, and sanctions. Words were meticulously chosen, sculpted to sound moral but mean absolutely nothing. They said they were building diplomacy. What they really built was a stage. And when the first real crimes began, the first injustices that could be explained away, no one wanted to see them, because acknowledgement costs influence, and influence was far too expensive to spend on the truth. The market was booming, and morality was in a bear market. So they created committees to investigate the investigators. They passed laws to postpone justice indefinitely. They invented sterile clinical phrases like unfortunate civilian impact to replace honest words like murder. The citizens, watching it all unfold on their screens, would shake their heads and say, someone should do something. And then, they'd scroll down to the next distraction. After all, outrage is exhausting, and comfort is addictive. City 25 was a masterpiece of diplomacy, a masterclass in moral evasion, a place where the guilty wrote the rules of innocence, and everyone nodded along because disagreement was bad for your reputation. But here's the thing about reputations. They rot much faster than corpses, and the stench is harder to ignore. When the walls finally cracked, the leaders blamed unexpected societal collapse, as if the decay hadn't been visible for years, festering in their lies, in their endless meetings, in their selective performative outrage. The rot wasn't in the foundations of the city, it was in the hearts of its architects. The citizens begged for justice. The diplomats offered strongly worded statements. The criminals, seeing their opportunity, offered hollow apologies. And everyone, desperate to move on, called it progress. City 25 was never destroyed by war. It was destroyed by the illusion of peace. It was hollowed out by endless negotiation with conscience, by the comforting belief that morality can be outsourced to institutions. It collapsed under the weight of its own politeness. In the end, no one remembered who started the fire. They only remembered who wrote the most comprehensive, well-researched, and ultimately useless report about it. The final document was praised for its nuance and balance. We still live in these experiments. We just call them alliances, summits, partnerships, but the variables are always the same. Comfort breeds apathy, power breeds denial, and truth, a real, inconvenient, messy truth, becomes a diplomatic inconvenience. A problem to be managed, not a reality to be faced. City 25 didn't fail because humans couldn't live together. It failed because they learned to pretend too well. They perfected the art of appearing to care, while forgetting how to actually do it. Maybe the real experiment wasn't about population or control. Maybe it was about how long a civilization can sustain hypocrisy before it starts calling it peace. Thanks for watching. If this made you think, consider subscribing for more content that questions the narratives we're told. Stay curious.